Hello and happy, beautiful day to you. On today's quick IQ episode, I want to talk about 3 specific blocks that can come up that can affect you and keep you stuck from healing yourself from the relationship and love and connection that you really want in your life, or even money in financial areas and just things that I see all of the time with people. And so kind of just looking at the bigger picture for a moment, all of the time, I'll see people who, of course, come into personal development or self-healing or self-help or whatever you want to call it, spirituality. And they're looking, of course, to expand their life in some way, to heal, to find more love and connection, fulfillment, whatever that is. And so I'll see them get deeper and deeper and deeper into spirituality, but then also as they're doing that, as they're working on growing, what can happen is that some subconscious blocks and beliefs that they didn't previously have can sneak in and create some problems. And that's what I want to talk about today. So number one is this, is I'll see people who come in who are maybe working on healing themselves or working on improving their relationships, and they're wanting more love. But then when they get into spirituality, they might start to feel a sense of righteousness or superiority. And unfortunately, what happens is even though their heart is wanting more love and more connection, the righteousness or the superiority can actually make them continue to feel disconnected in a different way. Or it can actually create even more distance in the relationship. And I have seen that so many times, unfortunately. But what's beautiful is when I see people shift that to really get rid of the superiority, the righteousness, and really just feel from their heart is beautiful. So that's one block that I wanted to share with you. Now, another one is this, is I'll see people who then, maybe they're wanting to grow and expand financially, but then they start to feel like money is a bad thing. Now, the way that this can affect a person is multiple ways, even their health. And I've seen this all of the time where, you imagine somebody who has been in financial scarcity. So they have fear. And they have this fear going on, the financial scarcity. And then they want to grow and expand and fix that. But then maybe they start hearing messaging that says, oh, money is bad, or you shouldn't want money, or money is of the ego, or whatever it is. I'll see all kinds of beliefs around money. So then what I'll see happen with people is that, of course, if they're living in fear, can that affect somebody's health? Well, of course. Fear can definitely affect somebody's health. So what can happen is if somebody's living in financial insecurity, they can feel financially insecure, which can create even more fear. And then as it's creating more fear, it's harder to, of course, heal themselves. But then if they start getting all of these beliefs that says, I hate money, or money is bad, or whatnot, and they're feeling that, it then blocks them. So in other words, it's like they're stuck. They're in scarcity, but they don't want to have more because they feel like it's bad to have more, but then they don't want to have less and they want to have more. So it's all of these mixed emotions. And I can't tell you how many times I've seen that. And I've even worked with people who had good abundance in money. They were abundant. They felt very successful. Then they ended up getting deeper and deeper into spirituality and then getting to a place where they had lost like all of their money because they felt like that was more spiritual to then being sick, injured, fearful, not wanting money, but not wanting the scarcity. So it creates that complexity. So point is that if you've been stuck in that, you'll want to make sure to instead feel like money is good, feel the goodness of money. And of course, we can look at anything and we can say that, can money be used in a negative way? Sure it can, but can it also be used in positive ways to fuel a life of love and joy and connectedness and freedom and travel and expansion, or being spiritually fulfilled? Absolutely, because it's all in how you use it. I mean, one person could have more and more money and they could go out and do a bunch of drugs and partying and all kinds of things, but another person can have money and they can use it to connect with people and enjoy and have fun, or, save for something that they're wanting, or expand their house, or their, whatever it is that they're wanting, or travel around the world so they can use it for expansion of their lives and freedom of what they want to do. So in other words, making sure that, money isn't good or bad. It really depends on how you use it. And so if you've had that fully feeling that money is bad, you'll definitely want to change that, because I've just seen so many people end up having that stuck. And of course, not only can it affect their healing because it can create that fear, but I've also seen people where they're stressed in their relationship, where they're frustrated because they never have enough. And so one of the biggest stressors in their relationship becomes that feeling of fear towards finances, and it stresses their relationship and their life. And so just food for thought on that. Now, the third one that I've seen come up is just this sense of feeling a sense of like anything that they do is egoic. Oh, don't do that. It's egoic. Oh, don't. And it's like they feel like they're not supposed to celebrate themselves. Oh, that would be egoic. Or celebrate something that great happened, or get an acknowledgement or attention or whatever that is. And of course, what typically happens is they'll have one part of them who's wanting to feel acknowledged and loved and appreciated, but just a sense of acknowledgement and feel good about what they're doing. And then another part of them says, I'm not supposed to want acknowledgement. And so what happens is that conflict then blocks that. And so they're not feeling acknowledged, then they're feeling unloved and whatnot. So my point is, that is another thing that I've seen, where I've seen people who come into spirituality, self-help, whatnot, and they then adopt that mindset, and then it keeps them stuck, or even more stuck than they were previously. And so in that note, what you want to do is, instead, even think about the world, and if you looked around and everybody was just being acknowledged for goodness that they bring and what they do, you can acknowledge a third grader for getting good grades, or for being kind or loving or sweet or thoughtful, or whatnot. I mean, there's so many things. You can acknowledge every person for something. And so if everybody was getting acknowledged for just being themselves, being kind, being loving, being sweet, being thoughtful, whatever it is, being successful, whatever it is for you, that would be amazing. And so my point is just thinking about these things, just because I know that typically what happens is there's a part of people who say, well, of course, acknowledgement is great and I want to feel acknowledged. And then there's another part of them that says, I shouldn't want to be acknowledged. That's egoic. I shouldn't want to. There's that quieter part, that other voice that's in the subconscious mind that sneaks in, that then creates that conflict. And so what can happen is it can really keep them from getting the change, the transformation, the results that they really want. And so that's what I wanted to share with you today, is just that, is how can you use this and apply this to your life, towards money, towards relationships, towards feeling good, feeling acknowledged in your world. So those are the insights that I wanted to share today. So if you've ever been asking yourself, by the way, how do I really, what's blocking me? What's blocking me from taking my life to the next level? What's blocking me from healing or whatnot? These are some of the blocks that can come up. So food for thought. And as always, I want to ask you to please do take just a quick moment to hit the share button on this episode. Share it with somebody you love, somebody you care about, or somebody you don't even know, because the more that every single person in our world feels happy and healthy and loved and loving, the better this world is for all of us. And so please do take a quick moment to hit the share button, and please do make a point to have an incredible rest of your day. I look forward to connecting with you on the next episode. We'll see you there.